Fuck it, we'll do it live.
Watercooler, watercooler, watercooler.
Hello and welcome to Watercooler, episode number 308, also known as 69 plus 69 plus 69 plus 69 plus 32. Shaquille O'Neal on the magic. Thank you so much for tuning in. My name's Chris Loxamani. You know how the show goes. I kick it with my Corolla Digital Buds. Like Gary Smith.
What's up?
Hey, Gary. And Matt Fondelier.
Hey, brother.
All right, so we got a little bit of a Key 3 skeleton crew situation going.
It's a skeleton key.
It's a skeleton. It is. It's a skeleton.
Can be
key.
used anywhere.
So Mike Dawson just went home because he couldn't say that late, and then Kalen just decided to stop being on the show half the time. So
Yeah.
no, he didn't.
Still
just
collects
decide.
the same amount of money, though.
Sure does.
It's not that much anyway. Well, anyway, I'm glad to be here with you guys. I missed you guys. I hope you had a great weekend, and it's good to be back sitting in this chair doing some WC.
Had a very boring weekend, but
bees.
I'm very glad to be here with you guys. This is a big week for Watercooler. We got a lot going on this week.
What do we got going on?
We got this. We got the Patreon episode, and then we're doing a movie night.
Oh yeah.
For the Patreon subscribers who subscribe to our movie night tier, that's the night where one of the hosts picks a movie and surprises the other 3 or 4, depending on how many are there, if Kalen's working that night or not.
Most of the time it goes well.
Most of the time it goes well. Matt destroyed.
I think it
Matt tried
goes
to
well
kill
every
it.
time.
No,
Yeah.
no.
I think it went well. It was a very
Thank you.
successful
I'm glad
movie
you
night.
came around on it.
Just
I think
because
it
you
was
and I didn't
entertaining.
like it,
I
and
think
just
it was
because you and I
entertaining.
had a bad time, I don't
Yeah.
think everyone else had a bad time. So
Well, it's hard for me to divorce those two.
yeah,
If I had a bad time, I feel like everyone did.
not in this case.
very
People,
self-involved.
yeah, everybody kind of enjoyed basking in our misery.
Yeah, I'm sure they did. But
Look,
so
you
this
French
week,
fried when you should have pizzaed.
that's a fair
You're
point.
going to have a bad time.
I know. Oh, this month it's up to Chris. So we'll
Yeah.
see if hopefully my brother in horror hatred will not terrify me.
It's up to you, baby.
I do what's good for the show. All right, before the mic's heated up, I was looking at Gary, and Gary's like, "Man, I'm hot." I'm like, "Whoa, buddy." He's like, "Yeah, dude, I freaking look good today."
Yeah.
You know, it's typical Gary. Just
It was
comes
weird that he
in.
had the sleeves rolled up, too.
Why do you roll up your sleeves when you do that?
I keep cigarettes in there.
He keeps the pack of
that's the
cigs in there.
boxes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he keeps the pack of cigarettes in there. Just he gets the comb out of his hair, out of his back pocket. Does one go through front to back.
Yeah.
Puts it back in. I don't notice a difference. He didn't even need to do that. It's already looking good.
Did you know that his personalized Tesla license plate says Grease Lightning? Sorry to dox you.
It's a pun on the whole electric part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah, that's
The
why.
lightning.
Yeah, people probably aren't happy with that.
People hate on the Tesla owners with their clever or not so clever plates. I'm okay with it.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not. Matt's joke aside, I'm definitely not a part of that that bullshit. But
You do look like you have a vanity plate.
yeah, I don't.
Oh no, in your last car you definitely did.
The last car definitely did because I got a plate that had a couple of zeros for numbers and it made it look like a word. And I got made fun of by countless celebrities who would. Well, I can just say what it said. It used to say "Cool Joe."
Yeah. Gary was driving around with their license plate. That's a Cool Joe. COOLJO, but like the O's were zeros.
Yeah, and I found Cool Ho in the wild.
Really?
At a Corolla
Took a
Drinks
picture
event.
of it.
It was like a tannish Porsche, and it was parked at that place over in Burbank that we had a Corolla Drinks event at. And Matt and I went, and I walked up. I was like, "Look, the only thing that's worse than mine, Cool Ho."
That guy probably did that on purpose, though.
You hope it's a guy. No, he had the same thing where it was like zeros and ones that spelled out just unfortunately. He
So-
was just the next guy after me.
Yeah, next guy.
probably.
Because they make those plates in
Prison.
order? In prison. In prison.
Both things are true,
Yeah.
Chris.
Yeah.
They make them in order, they make them in prison.
'Cause I told you the time, yeah, that happened to me. I pulled up next to the lady. One number difference. I tried to get in her car thinking it was my car because we had the same car.
Right. And then you waited around for her, told her, and she did not care.
Yeah,
and was
she's like,
scared
please
of you.
hurry up, take this picture so I can go home. I'm having my Subway sandwich. It's getting cold. Please hurry up, you weirdo.
She ate fresh.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so I was talking to Gary. He did not say he was hot. He was looking hot. His headphones were hot. But I asked him if he ever just looks in the mirror and just goes, "Man, I'm happy with who I am. I like this. I like what I'm seeing."
No, you said, "Do you like? I like what I see."
Yeah.
Happy with who I am is a whole different conversation.
And you said you don't do that. You can't do that
I said not lately.
because
Because I've gained weight during the
you
pandemic.
packed some LBs.
Yeah.
I can't see it.
It's not. I mean, it's a combination of pandemic and dad. Dad life's hard. I mean,
I thought you meant your dad. I was like, what'd
No,
your dad do?
He's
No,
been
no.
force feeding Gary.
I'm constantly around somebody who's being fed all the most delicious foods, and he's not
You
always
treat
eating
your
them.
wife so well, man.
I
Yeah.
know.
What are
Oh,
the
the
wait?
baby.
What are the baby foods you like?
Like,
Well,
which
he's-
have you personally tried?
What are you into? Why are you?
It's
munching?
not baby food anymore. My baby is older, so it's now toddler food, which is like
Ooh,
pizza,
Oh,
quesadillas,
nice. Oh, this is the
PB&J.
sweet spot of being
Toddler food
alive.
is great.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
he eats like, he'll eat Cheez-Its or he'll eat barbecue chips,
Chicken
nuggies
nuggies?
all the time, and they're
Yeah.
dinosaur shaped, Matt. So they're
Ooh.
extra delicious.
Why are they always dinosaur shaped?
Because it's
It's-
awesome,
Yeah,
Chris.
it's classic.
You get
I-
to bite off a Tyrannosaurus Rex's head, and it's covered in ranch.
I
You get
totally
to
agree
be
with
the
that.
dinosaur.
Why don't they make all nuggets dinosaur shaped? Because not only do they look really great, they look really cool and they're fun, but they actually enter the mouth in a much easier way, like the angle. Like a brontosaurus head enters my mouth a lot easier than whatever a chicken McNugget is shaped as.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The long neck with the round
Yeah,
head
yeah.
makes it real.
That gets
real
it right.
easy.
That fits right in.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like my mouth was made. It's just like a puzzle piece. Just
See, but
fits.
on the negative side, the Stegosaurus, that thing is a bitch.
but it's fun because you get the what are those back points?
You bite all of his spikes off.
The back
Back
spikes.
points.
Yeah, the back points. Yeah, you just go one at a time.
You're right.
You kind of pace yourself. It's like string cheese. You just pace yourself a little bit.
String
There's a way to
cheese,
do it.
There's another one. I mean, look, it's just all the most delicious stuff from when you were a kid. I feel like this is gonna last until he's 12. I mean, it's just these.
I know several people who made it last through college, so he could really.
Well, I'm bringing it back right now. Obviously,
Yeah.
that's my point. But yeah, so do I. I know several people, especially boys, are. You leave a boy with good metabolism alone, he will eat like a piece of shit well into his 30s.
Yeah.
Now, here's my question when it comes to raising a child. Can you, and I think you should, start training your son to like doing dishes? Like the way that you would train a dog and reward it for a good behavior, and you act really excited about things, and then the dog gets really excited. Can you not, for the next several years, get your son pumped up about cleaning dishes, and you guys have fun, and you like dance and put music on,
There's-
and then by the time he's old enough to like be doing it on his own, he's gonna be like, "Mom, Dad, you guys enjoy watching Law and Order SVU. We, and by we I mean me, I got the dishes handled."
Yeah, I'm sure you could. Here's the thing, though. He doing the dishes either way.
Oh.
You
So
know?
you're not gonna try
He's
to make
gonna-
it fun.
No, I mean, I will, of course, try to make it fun, but I don't think that we're necessarily early enough. He can't really do things as much. I mean, he can do stuff, but it's like I can't have him scrub a plate and trust that it's not going to get dropped. That's
he-
going to come a little later in
So
his
he's
life.
useless.
He is very. He does not have a lot of utility at the moment.
So he's useless.
I am not going to fucking agree with that. How dare you?
Yeah, Matt, I imagine that the Tom Sawyering of your child, like, oh, well, painting this fence is fun.
Yeah.
That has to have been tried, and there's no way it worked because there's still nobody that just loves doing it. And I know it's been tried. Like, there's just no way with all the human beings on this earth that a parent has not tried that.
I'm just saying, like, doing dishes, much like paying taxes, is just something that you're going to do until you die. And you can't avoid it. You know, doing laundry is another one of those things, unless you're very fortunate and you have somebody do laundry for you. But most people are going to be doing laundry the rest of their lives. I feel like I would have really benefited by learning how to enjoy doing the dishes earlier in my life. Now I don't mind it because I've had to find a way to, like, be zen about it. But back
I'm
in the
the same
day,
way.
they were awful.
It used to be the worst part of not my day, my life. Oh,
Yeah.
you got a full sink of dishes, Chris. It's your turn. You got to do this. Oh, terrible. Now I don't mind as much.
I never really minded it, and maybe that's why I'm not connecting with you guys on this as much because I think I was sort of always responsible for my own plate. Like it wasn't like the whole sink's full, like your rotation in the family. It was just in my household. You know, I guess there weren't a lot of people because my sister was kind of gone by the time I came a little bit of age. But everyone just sort of was responsible for their own plate. It wasn't that big a deal.
Yeah, see, my parents would basically just do it themselves, except once a month, or maybe twice a month, me and my sibling, my little sister, would get duped into having to do the dishes, and it was always awful. And I remember specifically my sister, whose name is Rebecca, we used to always tease her and call her Cinda-Becca when it was time to do the dishes. And I mean, you could, again, like you said, like it wasn't the worst thing to happen for the day. It was the worst thing to ever happen. Period.
I will say that the worst thing I can associate with dish cleaning is if I cook the entire meal and then I do all the dishes. That's the worst.
That is the worst.
I hate that.
I've started to plan my meals around the cleanup.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I can't. I'll use the same pan for every part of this meal, just so I don't have to wash one of them at the end.
100%.
But I never really learned. I like as far as like dishwashing technique goes and laundry, I kind of just throw it all in there or just do it. I was never really taught a specific way.
Well, what do you mean by for laundry? How, like for instance, how do you roll? Like you got hold on.
You're gonna like this.
You have a whole bin that's full of clothes. I assume there's just one dirty clothes hamper.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So now it's time to do laundry. You've got a bin full.
I've told this before, but before I moved in with a girl.
Everything changes.
Good for you.
Everything changes when you move in with a girl.
Yeah. Before I moved in, my hamper was a cabinet.
Sure.
In the hallway,
Uh-huh.
just like your towel, like in the hall, we have that tall cabinet, and where you keep your towels.
The linen cabinet.
The linen closet.
Come on, you know the real terms for it now.
Yeah, the linen closet.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't have that much stuff, so my towels were only in the top.
Sure.
So the bottom one, and there's random stuff in the middle.
Built-in hamper, baby.
The bottom one, built-in hamper.
This apartment comes with a hamper.
Built-in hamper. Just toss it. Just kick it in there. Just take off my clothes. Kick it.
By the way, when you're living alone, I have no problem with that.
Thank you.
I mean, you have to close that shit pretty tight if
Yeah.
the girl's coming over, but
Yeah. Well, it was closed. See, it was already closed. It didn't like there was no stink or anything. It was just
but
at
for
the
anyone who's
bottom.
dating-
It was the farthest possible place from your nose.
but people snoop. They'll snoop.
Well, do you think?
Yeah, girls will poke
People
around.
love opening up drawers.
I
and
did let
cabinets.
Jen hang out in my apartment by herself plenty of times. You
Yeah,
think she
that
snooped?
was-
Yeah.
I didn't have anything to hide.
Yeah.
Obviously, she liked what she saw.
Oh
good?
yeah, you're right.
Yeah, you good?
You're right.
You here? We good?
Are you guys snoopers? You ever snoop?
No, not really.
I used to.
That's what a snooper's supposed to say.
I used to because the way I rationalized it was I wouldn't care if somebody snooped into my stuff, and then somebody pointed out to me the ethical quandary that exists with
Yeah,
that.
I don't.
And so
I don't think that adds
just
up.
because you're okay with it doesn't mean other people are okay with it. And I
Yeah.
went, you know what? I'm gonna do the first time in my life. I'm gonna think about someone else.
Wow.
Yep, I stopped snooping.
So you went to Camp Snoopy for a while.
Yeah.
And then
Yep.
you grew out of it.
And how
You're
old
at
were
Knott's
you?
Berry
Long time
Farm.
ago.
How
You're
old
at
were you?
Knott's Berry Farm.
When I stopped snooping,
Sure.
I'm gonna call it 25.
So 25 years old is the first time you thought about somebody else.
I've snooped.
In the realm of snoopage.
What? Okay. What are we calling a snoop? Opening a medicine cabinet?
Sure.
Then I've probably snooped.
There we go.
I'm sure I've been at a party and I've opened
Yeah.
that up, like,
Yeah.
looking for something.
I'm glad we've curbed your drug addiction, though.
Yeah.
Since then.
You know, Ryan Leaf used to. That's how he used to get his drugs.
Yeah. Oh, a lot of people.
He
a
was
lot of
super
parties.
because he was super rich and he could get into like these $5 million open houses.
Oh, we do it at open houses.
He'd do it at open
Oh,
houses and then
I
he'd go
thought
through
parties.
their cabinets. No, open houses. He'd go into like super high end open houses, but because he was famous, everyone knew he could afford it. The realtors were like, "Fucking great, have a good time." And then he'd just go up into the bathrooms upstairs.
Interesting. Yeah. I would say, like big celebrities and rich people like that. Yeah, I wouldn't trust them. I don't know why, but they always have bigger issues. At least from what I've seen, just being in this world.
Yeah.
Like, but anyway, as far as snooping goes, I remember one time.
Snake.
Oh yeah, I was a teenager, and my friends, we all got to hang out. So one of my friends had an older sister who had a house somewhere in Long Beach, and she went on vacation. We got to house it. Well, her younger sister was gonna house it. And she's like, "Hey, let's all hang out at her house." She has a house. We're teenagers. Like, yeah, this is a place like no adults. Like, let's just freaking go hang at this house.
This is a story about your friend fucking over her older sister.
Yeah, well, yeah, yeah. So I mean, you got and she had like a few boys over. Like we were all, she was like the girl in the boys group, right? So
Right,
she had,
yeah.
it was like a bunch of boys and her, and of course we're all Like, wow, this is a woman's house.
Uh-oh.
We
Ew.
must
I'm not sure I like where this one's going.
Ew.
we must snoop.
Respect all women.
And so we go into the closet, and there's a shoebox in the closet. And we open it up.
And there's nothing.
No, Gary, there's something pretty crazy, actually. Yeah, not nothing. Why would they have nothing? Why would she just have an empty shoebox? It was actually quite scandalous.
A collection of like Sports Illustrated magazines, perhaps.
In a shoebox, that wouldn't work. No, Gary, this is pretty scandalous. This is pretty incredible stuff for a teenage boy to find.
A dick in a box?
See, Matt's a lot closer.
Yeah, I understood where the story was going 5 minutes ago. I was trying to give you an off ramp.
Yeah. So they were toys of sexual nature.
Wow.
Toys of sexual
Yes.
nature.
Yes, and
Oh, you
and we're
got
just
your
like
episode title.
we were just holding like, oh my gosh.
Holding them.
Well, yeah, we had to like.
Well, if you're gonna look
we're
at
just like,
them.
whoa, oh my god, John, get in. I mean, his real name. Gay buddy, get in here. That's gay. Friend two, get in here.
Friend too.
And yeah, we all were just looking, like turning him on, just watching him twist around, like hypnotized, mesmerized.
Yeah.
And put him back. Did not tell our friend that what we saw, and just
Until this very moment.
well, no, she found out. Because
Oh,
we
really?
We didn't put him back right.
Oh. That's like OCD.
Yeah.
That's
Or maybe
an
we were
OC
just
No, never mind.
Yeah, maybe we were just a little more irresponsible. but-
OCP.
I was gonna go there.
And yeah, I got the phone call like, "Hey, did you go snooping around my sister's closet?" Because she knows, and now I'm in deep shit. And,
Wow.
yeah. And we got in trouble. We got her in trouble.
I
I won't
mean,
take all the blame. We
Do
were all
you
there.
remember? Was it in like a snap kit with like some foam inlays, so you could actually know where to
No,
lay these things? It was just like in a bag, and before she left on the trip was like, "This one's gonna be the one on top."
That's what I'm saying. It was
Yeah.
just so willy nilly. If it was just
that
the
was
cutout.
willy-nilly, all
the-
right.
Why does she sound like that, by the way, Matt?
Yeah.
What was that voice?
I don't
you
do a
just
lot of
used?
voices.
The cutout foam.
That's Matt's I use dildos voice.
Yeah.
No, and don't use that phrase ever again.
But anyway, yeah, I remember doing that, and getting in trouble, and feeling terrible about it. I still feel bad about it. But look, I was a kid. I don't know, I was a curious kid.
This just made me think for some reason. What about the opposite side of it? When you were a kid, did you ever try to, like, again, we were kids, so I use this in air quotes, but like set like a security trap to like make sure nobody opened up your drawer, like kid spy technique? You know what I'm
Matt,
talking about?
Of course.
Okay.
So
you remember
know
this too.
like a lot of home offices used to have this, where if you have a rolly chair and you want your chair to roll around on the carpet, you put this plastic mat over it, and like
Sure.
and you would actually put them all over carpet. Like if you wanted, it was a weird thing, probably in the early '90s, maybe late '80s, where it was just this plastic mat that had spikes on the other side of it,
Yeah.
but the top you could walk on it.
Very aware of this.
Yeah, dude. Of course, I turned those things upside down.
Yeah.
To
Protect it.
protect and deter any intruders trying
Yeah.
to go. They have to be barefoot, of course, to be affected by it. But any barefoot intruders, which I mean, look, Kevin McAllister did it, and it worked for him.
That's right.
Yeah, I would spike them. I would punji pit them.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
My friend had 2 older brothers. And so when we were kids, we would do traps. There'd be 2 different bedrooms. There was the older brother's bedroom, and then there was the guest room. And the older brothers would set up a whole series of traps in their room, with the object being to, like, you have to get to the bed in the back corner and grab this item. And then we would do the same thing, but we were like 8 years younger than they were. And so we would go in, and they had all these like really complicated, like a string pulley thing where a giant bear dropped from the door.
Yeah.
And we thought we were being really clever by putting like little tiny spiky items on the
Butcher
bunk
knives.
beds. No, like Hot Wheels and stuff.
Oh.
Not those weren't spiky, but you know what I'm talking about, like little figurines and stuff.
Yeah, some
and
jacks.
the older brothers would just come through and just like take their arm and just knock
Swipe it
everything
off.
over, and it was humiliating. But I loved it. I loved the whole thing.
Yeah.
The most dangerous game in a situation like that is a rogue Lego piece. or the pieces. As I've very recently learned, the pieces of a Mr. Potato Head.
Oh, yeah, because those have points.
You step on one of those, you're going down.
Yeah, your foot becomes Mr. Potato Foot.
And for me, that is a long way down. And it sucks.
Oh, that is, yeah.
Yep.
You really, you're
down,
dealing with that.
I go down hard. Oh yeah. My son. Are we doing that? Yeah, my son. It was my feet, my shoes. I rubbed against him. He just got a Mr. Potato Head that he's obsessed with.
Did you explain what that noise was? Because you thought we would think it was a fart.
I don't know. Matt looked at me weird. I was trying to allay whatever he was thinking was going on.
For those listening, Gary is just in socks right now, so that couldn't have been your shoes.
Nah, you could never recreate it.
Trying to get it to
That's
do it.
part of the problem.
Nice try, dude.
Whatever.
It's like one
You
of
wish.
the like unspoken rules of the world is if you make an accidental fart sound and you try to recreate it,
It
can't.
never works.
It never
the
works.
universe just will not let you.
No.
It's gone forever.
Yeah. Just say you ripped ass. It's fine.
I ripped ass, and stepping on a portion of a Mr. Potato Head fucking sucks.
Noted. All right. Well, let's see. We got some comments here. We got. Okay, go ahead, Gary.
The claw.
I'll give you yours. And then also I know we have a Chez Fond du Lait.
Yeah.
We got a lot of stuff to get into.
Well, then let's not Chez Fond du Lait.
Oh, I like that. Do you want to do Chez? Let's do some Chez first.
Sure.
Yeah. Why not? Why not? Because
Why
it's been.
not?
I always get the comments going too long, and then I feel like Chez becomes rushed at the end. Let's not do that today.
Okay,
let's
linger.
get some
Let it
real.
linger. Oh no!
What type of foods might we hear of today? What might be the price? What might be the venue? So let's find out. It's time for Gary to say, hey Matt.
What's on the menu?
Well, you guys know I went to Lake Tahoe recently, and so this is now part 3 of the Shake Ta Bro series.
Yes.
I still liked Chez Fond du Lake.
Yeah, that's pretty good too.
Okay.
Yeah, it was just too late. It's already been branded. We
Yeah,
already
it
made the
really
shirts.
is. Yeah.
All right.
Anyway,
How many? Part 3 of.
This is part 3.
What? Do we even have? Do we know?
I was told there was a possibility we would get you to 5.
Nice.
Well, I don't think it's going to go that long, but maybe 4. I don't know.
Okay.
We'll see.
All right.
I want to keep it open-ended. You know what I mean? It's like I don't
Yeah.
want to end this film franchise. People keep coming to the theaters.
It's like Dune. Like part
just
2
like
just
it.
got greenlit. I don't know how many they're gonna do.
That's correct.
Yeah.
It could be an endless.
Yeah.
It could be never-ending.
Chez Fond du Lait is Dune
It
for
is the
food
Dune
reviews.
of
Of
segments.
podcast food segments.
It's
Yes.
been said. It's been said many times. Well, this is fitting. It's part 3. This is the key 3. And I got 3 words for you. Hot cocktails. Hot cocktails.
Nice.
When I was in...
I think that's 2 words.
It is, but it's okay.
When I was
Well,
in,
not the way he says it. We have to hear a segment now because it could be 3.
when I was in the northern part of California, for the first time in my life, really, I was in cold climate for a pretty extended period of time. And here in Southern California, we don't do hot cocktails. What's up,
No.
Gary?
7 days is not a long time to anyone who has winter where they live.
That is true.
Right.
But for this LA boy, it definitely was.
Yeah,
a long
I
time.
never really incorporate the steaming hot cocktails into my diet.
No.
Maybe at the end of the year.
That's generally the time. Well, guess what? We're approaching the end of the year.
You had to
So
have
it's fitting.
steaming.
Yeah. What's wrong with that?
Yeah,
Nothing.
Sometimes the hot ones steam.
yeah,
Yeah, sometimes they do.
it gets steamy.
Yeah.
Here's the deal. In Northern California, and apparently a lot of this country, it gets really cold for a long time. And when you want to get drunk, you don't necessarily want to have a big icy glass in front of you. And so hot cocktails become the primary beverage of choice.
Yeah, because if you have like the cold and it gets all that condensation, it's like sweaty cocktails and just like,
Right.
I'd rather I want them hot.
I agree.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to tell you guys about a few of the hot cocktails that I had.
Mm.
The first was at a place called Base Camp Pizza Company, which is part of the main thrust of the downtown area. Chris, don't look at me like
I
that.
didn't look at anything.
Chris is just who you were looking at because I'm sure I was making the same
I
face,
didn't
Matt.
look like anything.
Of course, I'm always looking for the cocktail name that is going to be the most uncomfortable to order, and I succeeded in choosing the Wood. That's
okay.
right. So give me the Wood. And this is a drink, again, a hot cocktail. It's made up of Woodford Reserve bourbon, spiced pear liqueur, spiced apple cider, and then a cinnamon stick. And it comes in one of those like clear coffee mugs, which I don't know if they actually are hot to the touch. I feel like that's part of the allure of it is that you can put your hand on the hot glass and it's not really going to be hot.
Right.
That blows my mind every time. I know it's not going to be hot, but I'm expecting my hand to burn.
Yeah, because you're having a hot drink. It's a mug, like even a regular ceramic mug. You'll get warm, but glass feels like it's going to get hot right away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's some magical clear glass technology that they've managed to procure over the years. I don't know how they
Pyrex?
do it.
Maybe it's a Pyrex
Maybe that's
glass.
what it is.
I love Pyrex. It's a miracle what Pyrex is.
So anyway, that was one of the first ones that we had over the week.
How was
and
the wood?
The wood was delicious. There's no other way to put it.
I enjoy the cinnamon stick.
Yeah.
It's
a nice touch.
It's one of my favorite scents, and especially once fall hits. Trader Joe's sells these brooms that just smell like cinnamon. It's a cinnamon witch broom.
I'm aware.
Not actually a functional broom, though, right?
You could probably function.
You could get some stuff
Yeah,
up.
I know Gary could teach his kid how to sweep up a corner with it if you
have a
desired.
bunch of pine cones, you could probably move them around, but you wouldn't want to sweep up a barber shop.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay, I got you.
But there's this smell.
Some rogue pine cones, though.
Yeah, because
Just
the pine
saying,
cones
man,
too.
you
but
never know.
There's this autumn smell that's kind of it has that cinnamon spice, maybe a little bit of apple. It's not as like fruity and floral as like a spring or a summer would be. You know, not really the crisp linen or anything.
Claws are master.
But it's I can't describe it, but it's such a nice autumn smell. Maybe just more spice, and it's my favorite. It's my favorite thing every time they.
It's like the cloves.
Yeah, the cloves. Every time they roll it out to Trader Joe's, I have to get a broom. I have to get a cinnamon broom and get my house smelling like that.
Nice.
And I told Jen, I'm like, these would make great gifts at like dinner parties. You should just come in with a cinnamon broom. And she said, you should not get things that would make people's houses smell very different than what they're supposed to smell like.
Good call.
She is right. Also, if you like the broom, how do you like this? They go on sale, and you can get them a few months early. And then you store them in the garage, and your garage smells like cinnamon for half the year.
That one
What a deal.
Yeah, that's
Sign
oddly
me up.
specific.
Oddly specific, huh?
Yeah.
All right.
You want a Chris talk?
Is that what's on the menu?
Well, it's such a great smell, but yeah, I would do it a few months earlier, but it doesn't last as long. So I like to hit it right when fall hits. But anyway, sorry, I like the cinnamon stick in the drink as well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Again, it's a great touch. All right, let me tell you about another one that we had here. This one was great because we were staying on the southeastern shore of the lake, and on the northwestern shore was a really cool like lakefront restaurant called Zaz, Z-A.
Pizza place?
No, it's not. Actually, this place was not a pizza place. That's funny. I
Fuck
didn't even
that
think about
place.
that.
Yeah.
Take that name, leave that for
Yeah,
us.
there's
Yeah.
another pizza place that wants that name, and they can't have it.
You're right. I think it was it's like a Greek, like a Mediterranean thing
Ugh.
or something. I don't know.
But
It was amazing because we were on the complete opposite side of this. Again, it's like a 20-mile long lake. It's gigantic. And we could see very far in the distance where we actually were staying. So it was kind of fun getting the complete opposite view of what we had been seeing. And they had a hot cocktail called the Naughty Dog Apple Pie.
ooh,
This was Bird Dog bourbon. Don't know the difference between
I've
the
had-
different bourbons.
I know Bird Dog bourbon very well because that is what Adam Carolla poured all over my laptop.
That's
So-
so funny.
I can still
You
smell
could
it.
still smell
yes.
it. Well, it was that kind of bourbon. Apple Pie
Cereal
Moonshine. Homemade apple pie moonshine. Maple syrup.
Not illegal
Nope.
to make moonshine at your house?
They made it at a restaurant, so it's legal.
That's not homemade then. Fuck off.
Work made.
All right.
Workmade moonshine.
All right, fine.
And then again, hot apple cider.
I've had the gnarliest moonshine. It was apple flavored. I think all the moonshine that I've had that actually is palatable and you can swallow it without wanting to die has been apple cinnamon flavored. I think it's like the only flavor you can make
Yeah.
it to where it's okay.
It definitely helps cover a lot of pain,
Yes.
a lot of the burning pain.
Tastes like burning.
That's why like Fireball also has that like cinnamon flavor. I feel like it just makes it easier to go down. Not that
Yeah.
I drink Fireball, but I'm just saying, like, that's a thing.
You don't like Fireball?
That's fine. I'm not going to order it, but
I had it.
I don't mind it.
I had it pretty recently.
Me too.
Yeah.
I didn't order it,
I have
but
it in my
I
house.
do it.
Ooh.
Oh, I don't even have it in my house.
Not for me.
Not you don't like it?
No.
I think the flavor is fine. It's a little too sweet, and its texture is too reminiscent of Sunny Delight, where it's just thick and it's just a little too thick for me.
Okay.
You know, I need it.
Really?
If
Yeah,
you're going to
too
have
thick.
hot cocktail, you don't want it to be thick.
No, I don't
No,
want
I would think you would want a thick hot cocktail.
it. Mm.
Think reconsider it, Chris.
All right, I'll give it a shot. Well, I actually have had Fireball as a hot cocktail, and it was what did they make? They made it like apple cider, but instead of cinnamon, they used
I'm figuring out a trend here, Matt.
Yeah.
what?
It's an apple cider. He's doing an apple cider shay, but I mean, ultimately, just mix a different kind of whiskey so far.
So far.
But
So
I'm
far.
sure there's a different
far.
kind of hot
You know what? There's
cock.
someone else.
Yeah, it was. I was at a friend's giving or a Christmas party, and they put it in the crock pot, and you just get a ladle. You just ladle it in your
A
cup.
hot cocktail from the crock pot?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's wild. Well, this next one is not so much a cocktail. It's actually wine. But it's called mulled wine. And I've had trouble pronouncing this word on the show before. I'm not saying mold. I'm saying
Ew.
mulled. Mulled, which is basically a combination of all the flavors that Chris, you were just describing. That like autumn,
Yes.
holiday taste.
Yeah.
That's
so
just
good.
mixed with red wine, and then it's heated up. One of the places we went to, an incredible Lakeview place again, it's called the Idle Hour, and they had, I'll say work-made, because homemade makes Gary upset, mulled wine. And this place had like little heaters and blankets, and it was just a very like cute, cool place to have a drink.
Mold wine,
Is that how they make the mold with
Yeah.
the heaters?
Yeah, that's how.
and they cover it with the blankets for the
Yeah.
because you need darkness.
And create the moisture from the lake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of spores.
So I was thinking of other hot cocktails that one might enjoy.
Mm.
These aren't ones that I had, but I've had before. Irish coffee.
The best Irish coffee, still San Francisco. What's that place called?
I don't know. I wish I could remember the name too.
Buena Vista.
Yeah.
And
I
it
think
is.
so.
It really is just leaps and bounds. Like I've had Irish coffees other places. It's just perfect there.
Gary and I
dialed
had-
in.
Had one at the Miami airport and nearly missed our flight home. I don't know if you remember that.
That's right.
Another amazing Irish coffee.
What is Irish coffee? It's like Irish whiskey, coffee, and some cream on top.
Baileys, yeah.
Okay.
No. Well, yeah, Bailey's. A lot of people do Bailey's, but the one from the Buena Vista is how you described it.
Yeah.
Or you can just do just whiskey. Just put whiskey in coffee.
I always thought that was an Irish coffee. It's just like let's just make it Irish and just put any booze into coffee.
Yeah, that's like the slang kind, which is not bad either.
I actually really like whiskey and coffee. I don't know why. Just black coffee, throw some whiskey in there, and I'm good. I can drink that all night.
Black?
Black.
Yeah, I've done that before too, and every sip of it that I have, I just feel like my brain is melting.
The first time I ever had it was here at work. It was a work concoction.
Oh, there you go.
Another work hot cocktail, and it was with Jeremiah Weed. We used to have a sponsor here on the Grill Show called Jeremiah Weed, and the only way that I could make that thing palatable was throwing it in my coffee, and me and Dawson would just rip those things all night long.
Chris and Dawson loving that black hot cocktails.
Yeah, that's right. Another great hot cocktail. You guys have had this before. Not everybody in the world gets treated to this, but at Universal Studios Hollywood in the Harry Potterville, they have butterbeer.
I've had it.
I have not.
Take a little bit of Jim Beam, throw some in there.
I've not done that.
You will be delighted.
Butterbeer's delicious. It's like a
So in this scenario, you're smuggling booze into
No,
an
you can buy
amusement
booze
park.
at the same bar.
Oh, okay.
They'll make it for you that way.
Okay.
Yeah, you just
Ah.
ask them for it. Or Jameson, I think maybe is what I did.
okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
that would be good.
It was delicious. The last very well-known hot cocktail is called a hot toddy.
Mm-hmm.
But because we were in Tahoe, my wife and I made up the hot Tahoe. See what I did there, Gary? Changed the word around a little bit.
I wrote hot toddy.
Well, let me tell you how to make the hot Tahoe. You take 1.5 ounces of rye or whiskey, doesn't really matter. 1/2 ounce lemon juice. Then you can heat up some apple juice. I suggest the Honey Crisp apple juice. That one's the best one. Stir it in after it's all heated up. You pour it into the booze lemon mix. Then you take a spoonful of honey, stir that shit up. You can add a little bit of cinnamon if you want. You want to throw a cinnamon stick in there. I wouldn't blame you. And that's it.
Thank you.
And we made those several nights when we were in Tahoe,
Hot
and then
Tahoe.
enjoyed watching the sunset from the hotel fire pit. It was amazing.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was a really long Chez Fond du Lac segment,
I don't
but
like it.
I think
The hot toddy. Have you had one, Gary?
Yeah.
They're fantastic. It's like what is it? Lemon tea, whiskey.
you don't even need the tea, I don't think.
You don't.
No.
But it's just and don't people drink it when they're sick?
Yeah.
Like isn't that like a good excuse? Like
Yeah. English
hey.
people and Irish people. Yeah. It's like you get sick, shot of whiskey.
Yeah.
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 It'll
Exactly.
coat your throat.
It's good stuff.
Coats the throat. So I'm a big fan of the hot toddy as well.
Well, there you go. Anyway, that's what's on the menu.
Yeah, great hot cocktails at Lake Tahoe. I loved it. Thank you, Matt.
Yeah.
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 I saw Kaylin on Saturday. So I'm playing a show, and it's like an outdoor wine bar, but there's a big seating area there. So I'm playing, and then Kaylin just pops in his head. Hey, you came to see the show.
That's
and then
nice.
yeah, I thought it was really nice. And he's like, and then I look down at my guitar, play a couple more chords, look back up, he's gone.
Oh, really?
Perfect.
The
Just-
disappearing act.
Just
Yep.
gone.
Just made his presence known.
Mikey's playing drums. Like, where'd Kaylin go? I'm like, I don't know. And then comes back 2 hours later. He went next door to have a bunch of oysters and Mai Tais. I'm not kidding.
Yeah, I actually saw pictures of this on social media.
So we'll talk to him about that on Patreon. But I was talking to Mikey, and he asked me, he's like, bring this up to the water cooler, guys, because he might need a Gary talk after this. So he's talking to his lovely girlfriend,
Okay.
Natasha, who we've all
Yeah.
met. I have a gig, and I've been having Mikey play with on my acoustic gigs a lot, so we play as a duo. So I tell Mike, oh, yeah, I have a gig on, it's November
16th.
27th.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, it's November 27th, so Saturday.
Saturday after Thanksgiving.
It's funny that you say that, Gary, because I asked Mikey, hey, Saturday after Thanksgiving, can you play a show? He's like, got it. It's all good. And then the other day, he's just like, dude, I have to back out of that gig. You got to go solo. And I went, why? He's like, because this is what happened, and I want you to bring it up to the water cooler, guys. His girlfriend says, hey, we're going to go visit my family Saturday after Thanksgiving. When is it? Oh, the Saturday after Thanksgiving. And then Mikey, what? I forget what it was, but he thought there was confusion over if the Saturday after Thanksgiving meant the Saturday day after Thanksgiving or the Saturday after Thanksgiving weekend.
Right.
Right.
You guys are both out of your minds for thinking that the Saturday after Thanksgiving is in fact two Saturdays
December
after
4th.
Thanksgiving.
Oh, that's why. So he thought
No,
he could
no,
go
no.
because she's like, when is the show? And he's like, the Saturday after Thanksgiving. And she's like, good, you're clear that day. And then he's like, what? Wait, but you. And then
This year, Thanksgiving is on November 25th, just so we're all clear.
Oh, okay.
So Chris has a show on
The
November
27th.
27th, which
Yeah,
is
2
2
days,
days later.
yeah, the
the
Saturday
Saturday after
Okay. You
Thanksgiving.
guys
Yeah.
are correct.
That is
So-
absolutely a fucking logical way
Yes.
to say out loud when
Correct.
that date is.
So she thought he meant the Saturday after
Thanksgiving
Thanksgiving week?
Oh boy.
Thanksgiving weekend. And so he.
That's wild. That's wild.
Oh, all right. Here's the thing, Mikey, you're still wrong, but I mean, ooh, I don't know about that
Yeah,
one, bro.
it's a Saturday after Thanksgiving. Maybe say it like that. Put a little emphasis on it.
Just be wrong.
That's what I thought.
Mikey,
That's what I
just
thought.
be wrong.
That's what I thought.
Phew, that's pretty tough.
Yeah.
I need my own advice on that one.
Yeah, I thought it's like, oh, interesting. Well, anyway, I have a show at the Wilmore Wine Bar
It's an interesting way to get a plug
on
in.
the Saturday after Thanksgiving in Long Beach. If anybody wants to come. Also, so I have a sandbox in my house, Gary. You know that, right?
Yeah, you've got a cover and everything.
Got a cover and everything.
Why?
The previous owners had it.
I mean,
What, Gary?
nothing.
Finish your thought.
Nothing.
You know,
You want to put a slide in?
no,
monkey
just
bars?
keeping it sandbox, keeping
Okay.
it minimal, keeping it clean.
Cool.
Well, the previous owners had a kid, and so they had the sandbox, and they went, "Oh,
They were like, "Oh, you're buying our house. We'll leave that."
Gary, this is what's gonna be."
They told the realtor,
No.
lead with the sandbox.
Why did I like that place so much? It really felt like, it felt like something I.
And it's like the dirty kid sand, right? It's not like they put fresh sand in it.
That's what. Well, here's the thing.
It's like a litter box for children.
It is. It is. So, well, I mean, the sand looked pretty good, but a lot of leaves fall down during the fall and everything, and it has a cover, but
Sometimes after playing,
what?
sometimes after playing in it, you're just too tired to put it on.
Well, it does no, but there are holes in the cover, so
Oh my god.
That's not a cover.
it's slats.
yeah.
The cover's like wooden slats, so there's just like little openings for spiders and
Poorly
leaves
designed cover.
Yeah, not a good cover.
to get in. Anyway, so has Gary Jr. started telling stories yet? Like,
No, thankfully.
okay, well, my friends came over 2
And
days
then they
ago.
made me do the dishes.
My friends. I can't wait talking to them about that. My friends came over because they were dropping off some tables and some chairs because we're gonna have like a Friendsgiving thing coming
Oh,
up.
cool. Yeah. Thanks for the invite. I'll be there.
He just talks and talks. And we just sit here. It's tremendous.
Gary, you got your invite, right?
Sure didn't.
Yeah.
Check with the wife.
Yeah.
Maybe Gary Jr. made the list.
Yeah, Chris, did you send that by email or how are we supposed to know your address?
Yeah, it's email. Check your
Okay.
spam. Check your
Okay,
spam.
cool.
And so we need some extra tables and chairs. So they came by, and then they brought their little girl, and she's 3. She might just turn 3, and she just started telling stories. So
That's the worst.
see, I don't know. So I just listened because I barely understand what she's saying. She's super cute, just talking to me, like talking to me so as matter of factly, and I just stare at her and just nod, like, "Wow, that's crazy," a bunch of that kind of thing. And then and she's trying, "Okay, I want to get in the sandbox," and I go, "I haven't sifted the sand. By the way, sand is the worst. Like I had to sift that sand, and sand's super heavy." And I put it in anyway. So I was like, I have to sift it. I don't want you to get into it. It's kind of dirty. It's kind of gross. Let's maybe next time. So I'm just sitting there. She's like, "Oh, that's cool."
Chris locks him on a ruiner of joy.
Yeah, I felt bad. She's like, "Okay, it's cool." Yeah, I peed in my sandbox yesterday, and then she just so as a matter of fact, like, "Yeah, peed in my sandbox yesterday. Got some new sand." After that, like, and she just like talking to me, like
Wow.
and I'm like,
She just shamed you.
Am I in Rugrats? Like the way
Yeah.
she's like just talking to me, and I found that kids, they really do say the darndest things.
Yeah, I mean they have a great zinger in there that'll keep you coming back for more, but ultimately the stories usually are going nowhere and are terrible. And then every right when you're at the peak of just being like, I'm gonna go in the other room, they'll drop some knowledge like that on you, and you're like,
Yeah.
huh?
Very kin to Dawson. Just kidding. Anyway, I just thought that was funny. Like I was talking to a kid, and she just
That's awesome.
dropping some null.
I have a 3.5-year-old who routinely FaceTimes me, and yes, I said it that way so it sound creepy. No, my best friend's daughter will routinely ask to FaceTime me, and then we'll sit there and talk. She'll tell me a story for like 3 minutes, and then she gets bored and she goes, "All right, I'm done with this. Can we please call Trevor?"
Wow.
Yep,
You kind of need that though, just
It's
that
great.
bluntness.
it's great.
Yeah, you need to be put in your place a little bit.
I don't want any more sugar coated anything. Just be blunt with me.
Yeah.
You're done with me? Go.
Mm-hmm.
Get out of here. Come on. All right, well, you guys want to do some comments?
Let's do it.
Here we freaking go.
Now it's time for listener comment.
All righty, and once again, these are all comments found on our Facebook group. And if anybody wants to join the Facebook group, it's super easy. You just go to facebook.com/groups/Bobo Boy Army Worldwide LLC. Answer like 5 questions. We might let you in. Super easy. And
The answering them part is really important.
yes. All right. But yeah, make sure you do it. Gary Gatekeeper doesn't just let anybody in. But if you do get in, enjoy yourselves. It's such a great community. And as I've always said, it's my favorite place on the internet.
Is somebody walking on our ceiling right now?
I'm wondering if somebody's using the punching bag in the back.
We do have that punching bag in the back. That's totally what that is.
Yeah.
100%.
All right, so Stephanie Blaine.
But it's like-
Lynette's letting out some steam.
But it's really distracting, if I'm honest. Let's see if that helps.
Nope, it won't.
Stephanie, I can't hear it at all.
I'm turning my headphones up.
Stephanie Blaine says,
Hey,
"Oh, Stephanie, she just got married. Yeah,
Yay.
Stephanie. She just got back from her honeymoon.
yeah. Well, she said she did. So she said my wedding phone has finally arrived, and apparently my parents found a poster I was using to promote my online sticker shop because she's a great artist, right?
Yep.
And she said her mom put it out on display in the reception hall without her knowledge until now. And they because the photographer took a picture of this poster board,
And it's like up on an easel, like up at eye level. It looks really cool.
and some of those pictures are of us as dogs.
As dogs, yeah.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's really cool.
That was awesome.
I thought that was very cool for family to do.
Yeah. So congratulations, Stephanie, and once again, great looking board, great looking dogs. Zach Danbury, he just wanted to remind everybody, it's a little PSA. Holidays are coming up soon. What is the best gift to give or receive this year? None other than the Patreon subscription to the Watercooler.
Ah, yeah.
Especially
right.
if you give it to somebody else and film it.
Yeah, so
Preferably a child.
we presented this challenge, and once again, it still stands. If you're looking for a fun way to entertain yourselves, your kids, and us, take a video of your kids opening up their gift, which would be a Patreon subscription to this very podcast.
That's right.
So
I watched that clip. He reposted the
So
video
good.
of his kids, and it was such a joy to watch. It was
it's
so
so cute.
funny.
Yeah.
And it really it bridges all age groups because Casey Peters did it to his fiance at the time, and her reaction was fantastic. She played along for quite a while and then just bluntly told him, I'm not listening though.
Yeah.
It was
But you know what? She listens.
she
now.
does listen now.
She's in the group.
Ah, we got her.
That's what happens. That's
Brought
what
her to
happens.
the dark side. Casey's wife.
Yeah, this show is it's an if you know show.
That's right.
That's
Yeah.
what it kind of feels like.
I saw a guy going after his own father in the Facebook group today.
Really?
Yeah, we were in the comments of. Well, you might get to it, but I'll tell you when we get to the post. But I was reading through the comments, and two guys with the same last name were going, kind of chirping at each other. It was hilarious.
Oh, that's cool. I hope I pulled that one. Let's see. Oh, this one had a lot of comments, but I want to get your guys' takes because, Matt, you have a dog.
I do.
So this guy Mark Farinha, he says, so I'm trying to see if I'm the guy in the wrong or if my neighbor is an asshole in this scenario.
Ooh, I love these.
That's great.
A few weeks ago, my dog had diarrhea and he shit in front of my neighbor's house on the sidewalk.
Okay.
So far, not looking good for you.
Yeah, dude. He says, Mark's like, I cleaned it up the best I could.
Oh, best I could.
But-
Also,
Don't
not
do your
looking good
best.
for
Do my
you.
best.
It's not looking good for you, bro.
But let's face it, outside of getting a hose, it's nearly impossible to pick it all up. And I left behind a skid mark.
Okay.
Well,
He just dropped the deuce for his own good measure, or that's part of the dog thing too?
no, it's probably part of the dog thing.
Okay,
now.
cool. Just making sure.
Yeah, no, we have to be clear. Well, a few days later, he confronted me, the neighbor confronted him, and started yelling at me over said skid mark.
He recognized.
He must. I'm in the age of the Ring camera.
Yeah.
I suspect this was caught on.
I
video.
thought the
Ring
neighbor went up to
camera,
the went up
whole
to
new
the skid
meaning.
mark, put his finger, ran it
Ew.
across.
Sorry.
Oh, Chris.
So he says, well, a few days later, he confronted me. I apologized and said I tried cleaning it up the best I could.
Okay.
That line again.
Yeah. Again.
And figured when it rained, it would wash away the rest of it.
Yeah.
Unless you live in Seattle, that's a terrible answer.
Now this neighbor crushes mothballs and spreads it all over the sidewalk in front of his house. Apparently, mothballs are poisonous to dogs.
Oh.
So am I in the wrong? I get it. I wouldn't be thrilled about the shit on my sidewalk. But he sees me multiple times a day out with my dog, and he watches me pick up after him all the time. What do you think, Matt?
Wow. Well, I mean, what's done is done. My question really was, at what proximity was the neighbor? Like, were you in a position to use a hose of your own to wash it off in that moment?
Well,
Obviously, that moment's passed.
Let's
but
say this happened to
Matt,
you,
that
and
doesn't-
Taco left some taco sauce on the sidewalk.
sure.
And
If
you
it was
couldn't-
my next door neighbor, I would try to use my hose.
you're around the block.
If it's around the block, then yeah, it's tough shit. Literally tough shit. There's nothing you can do about that.
Okay.
And this guy putting down dog poison is really just fucking. That's terrible.
That's psychotic.
That's insane.
I mean, yeah, Mark. So this is a little more nuanced than who's right and who's wrong. What do you think?
Doesn't feel that nuanced to me.
Well, here, this is what I mean by nuanced. I think that Mark, you could have figured out a way to clean that sidewalk. You could have went home, got some tools, maybe a spray bottle, something, and cleaned it up better.
And that's absolutely what should have happened.
Yeah, and clean it up all the way, especially if it's noticeable.
Because here's the thing, Matt. It's close enough
Mark.
because
Oh, that Matt. Sorry.
Yeah.
it's close enough because he says at the end, this guy sees me multiple times a week. Like,
Yeah.
you are. That's on your street.
All right, here's what I'm going to say. I think it's time for Mark to elevate this a little bit. If he catches this neighbor staring at him,
Shoot him.
don't shoot him, but ask him what's up. Start a conversation with him. Start a dialogue with him.
I think
It doesn't have to be an intense negative thing, but can I help you?
No.
Something like that. I say do it. Confront them.
Once the guy elevated it to your dog shit all over my property, which you fucked up for not cleaning that up. But once he elevated to, so I'm going to attempt to murder your dog and any other dog that may just happen by off leash, and be unlucky enough to come near my property. That guy's fucking psychotic, and you do not want to fuck with him or converse with him even, because who knows what'll set him off.
Yeah.
So, as I said, Mark, it's a little more nuanced. You should have cleaned it up better, and you should have put in the extra effort. Look, I know it's unexpected. I know you didn't have everything on you at the time, but I think it's worth going back and putting in the extra effort to show that you're trying it more than, quote, the best you could.
It's
Now,
about being a good neighbor.
But the neighbor,
Be like
he's
State
wrong
Farm.
also because the punishment does not fit the crime.
Correct.
And that's psychotic. And so, yeah, he's at least you've awakened this volcano of a psycho, and
One guy did the wrong
You could
thing.
push it a little farther.
One guy did the wrong thing in the moment, and the other guy has like a serious character flaw.
yeah. So there you go. So it's
I'm just saying the neighbor could also just be misunderstood.
Matt, he's trying to murder Taco.
yeah. He's purposely putting mothballs.
You don't know where this guy lives.
Spreading it all over
This
the
could be in your
sidewalk.
neighborhood.
Yeah.
And you're saying if it's affecting him every day, it's affecting him, you need to confront it. That's what I'm saying.
All right.
I believe that. If it's every day, if it's bothering him every day,
Okay.
Well, anyway,
give us an update.
yeah. Please give us an update. I am curious. Let us know what's going on with you guys.
Or
If you-
your next.
I
of kin.
imagine Mark maybe.
Tell your next of
Have
kin
your next
before
of
you
kin.
go over there.
Have your next of kin go to facebook.com/groups.
Yeah. Your next of kin.
I'm
And,
just all right, Chris.
I imagine he changed his route.
You had a crazy neighbor for a long time. You told stories on this show many
Yeah.
years ago.
Oh,
A
yeah.
crazy neighbor, and you never pushed back ever. And he just kept getting crazier and crazier and kept pushing and pushing, and he just
Yeah.
kept getting away with it. And it was infuriating to listen to.
You're completely right.
So I feel like this is the chance for someone to change that narrative. It doesn't have to be that way.
Yeah, Chris could not be here.
Okay, well, don't be a Debbie
Oh.
Downer, all right?
Just saying,
Yeah.
Chris is sitting here in the flesh, and I am glad that he did not ever confront.
And
that
remember, my
person.
crazy neighbor, the day I moved, he comes up to me, sees like the moving van, all my stuff can put in there. It's like, you and I'm bummed we didn't hang out. He's like, we should.
See, he's misunderstood.
He wanted to befriend me. He's like, hey, so well, and then he's like, yeah, now he's interested in what do you do? What's going on? What do you do?
That's
like,
crazy.
We're talking. He's like trying to befriend me.
Yeah.
Well, it's
People
very
are-
similar to Professor X and Magneto's relationship. I think we're enemies, but we're
frenemies.
also friends. Yes.
You're frenemies. There's a word for it.
Okay, yeah, because I was gonna go enemens.
Yeah.
I thought we were enemens, but yeah, frenemies
Entomins.
sounds better. Let's see here. Oh, what was up with this one, Gary? This one kind of bothered a lot of people. You posted it actually.
Yeah, this is the one I was reading the comments of.
So,
I kind of knew you would get to this.
Jeffrey Sally,
Yeah.
longtime listener, Patreon member, everything, loyal, devoted listener to this very show, or cell phone. I don't know what he is.
He could be a bot.
he posted this long-winded post. I'm not gonna.
It was only 2 paragraphs. It wasn't that long-winded, but
That's a little long for a
It's
post.
long-winded. For trust me, I read a lot of these posts.
Okay.
That one's a long-winded one, and he was saying, "I'm over the polls that everyone's posting on Facebook. Like,
He's a pole vaulter.
he's a pole vaulter. Yeah,
Yeah.
He's trying to get rid
pretty
of the
good.
polls.
Thank you.
That's pretty good.
Thank you.
I was trying to let it breathe. It's good. A poor pole vaulter.
And
Wow.
it didn't really gain any traction. But until
It was only up for about 2 hours.
until Gary decided to just blow the whole thing wide open by making his own post. Now this is Gary, a member of this very podcast, and he created a poll, and Gary created a poll in response to Jeffrey saying we have too many pools in this group. I think we need to pump the brakes. And Gary says so. It was floated by Jeffrey Sally, whom you tagged.
It didn't properly tag him. It just said his name for some reason. I was trying to tag him.
Okay.
But it didn't work.
Well, you went full name.
I know.
It was floated by Jeffrey Sally that we should ban polls from this group. What say you? And then Gary made a poll that says ban them or not.
That's all I said.
What did it say?
It said, I love me some pole, or there's
Oh.
entirely too much pole.
Oh, that's what it was. Yes. Well, 85% love them some poll.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was a landslide.
Everyone's sliding towards that pole.
14% said no. And once again, that didn't add up to 100. And I'm worried about our poll adding. But
Yeah. The
I don't-
logistics seem off.
There was someone in the comments who said they voted for the wrong one and that we should adjust it based on that. And no.
yeah. Well, anyway, that's the polls are here to stay. And in fact, Casey Hendricks created a poll. I like this one. This one
We have 2 Caseys now? Oh, yeah, that's right. We do.
This
Spelled
one-
differently.
This one was this one really divided the group. When doing laundry, who should be responsible for cleaning the lint screen on the dryer?
Ooh.
Is it the one who finished the load, or is it the one who's going to start the next load?
Now, here's the thing.
Now, do you have the load before or after you have the hot cocktail?
Well, and the other question is, where do you dump the load?
You put the load into the dryer.
But I'm holding the load. I need to dump it somewhere before I clean the lint trap.
Right.
So where do I dump the load?
Usually on the bed.
Yeah,
That's an option.
that you should teach Gary Jr. to hold it for you while you. What?
There's no hidden meaning, I promise you.
Okay.
Just keep going.
Well, what do you think, Matt? Is it the one who finished the load, or is it the one who's starting the load? Who cleans the lint screen?
It's the end of the process.
Oh,
After you're done with your load, you clean up. It's pretty straightforward.
It would be weird if you just left the load there for the next person to have to clean up days later. Like that's not practical.
yeah. Okay.
You don't want it like sitting there in the dryer, like gunking things up. Like you got to get it out of there.
Yeah, I guess I always like cleaning the load that I find.
Really?
Sure.
Yeah, like it just I think because it like kind of congeals better, and then you just scrape it out of the lint dryer. Like it's
So
more
you-
it's like solidified.
So
more.
you enjoy cleaning up someone else's load?
Yeah. So it's just
Do you like to use? Do you like to use?
because
the,
if
like the
if you do
dryer
it right
sheet?
if you do it right after, it's far too hot. Like I need it to cool off and then just scrapes nice and easy. And it's kind of fun too. I don't know. It's like weirdly satisfying.
Sure.
You just take it and you toss it in the trash.
I'm usually satisfied.
Are you guys done?
I have no idea.
All right, that'll do it for comments.
Tell you what, dude.
Oh no!
Tell you what, dude. When I'm done, I'll let you know. You can clean up.
Jesus. I apologize to all the listeners. This whole show has just been a double entendre.
Sorry, LL.
That was great. That was good.
I know.
That was satisfying.
I'm
There's got to be more
I'm
comments,
sad.
right? You can't end it on that.
All right, I'll read a couple more. I mean,
Come on, we're not mocking you.
we have a lot. I know. Let's see. I got Curl Classics in 5 minutes.
Oh, that's what it is. Okay, well, fine. We'll wrap it up.
Wrap it.
Can we tease that we have a guest coming up on our next show?
We can tease it. I already emailed it out to have the Patreon subscribers.
Oh, wow. Oh, yeah. Lynette's coming on the show.
Oh, my God. It's exciting.
Oh, my God.
It is. So, anyway, we have more clowns. We'll get to them next week. That's why I love the Facebook group. It's just endless content there.
Yeah.
And anyway, thank you, everybody, for writing in and being a part of the show. We appreciate it.
Yeah. Great polls. Great
Going.
polls, everybody.
Such magnificent polls.
Oh, my God.
It's been a long
Guys, we should record these conversations.
Should we?
Yeah.
I think so.
I think the whole world should hear them.
All right, well, why don't
Some
we...
days I think, it's great that my son will have an archive of me talking. And some days I think, oh, my God.
Yeah, this is... I want to hear Grandpa's radio show, Mommy and Daddy. Will you please play it for me?
Yeah. See...
So I'm cleaning a load.
Yeah, see, I'm going to play for them the other show that I'm on, which is about murder.
Yeah.
That's more appropriate.
Yeah. Well, speaking of plugs, why don't we get our plugs in? So, Matt,
Yeah.
what is this show you're talking about?
It's called Sword and Scale Rewind.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, it's the after show. It is the Talking Dead to The Walking Dead. So if you want to listen to
You
a
do
really...
a show called The Talking Dead?
Well, no, it's like that, though. So you want to listen to a really scary show. It's called Sword and Scale. And then you want to laugh because you need that release, the kind that Chris enjoys. That's when you listen to Sword and Scale Rewind.
Which is hosted by you and Chris Hardwick?
Me and Ian Bagg.
Ah.
Canada's Chris Hardwick.
Ah.
It's often been said.
Canada's Chris Hardwick. Ian Bagg.
I wish Chris Hardwick was Canadian.
Okay, so check out Sword Scale Rewind. Follow Matt at Matt Fondelier.
Yeah, please do.
And if you follow him on Twitter, he tweets out all the stuff he does. So make sure to give him a nice follow, too. Gary, what's up with you?
We mentioned Ryan Leaf earlier, so I'm going to plug the new project from Action Park Media on Ryan Leaf. He has a show there where he's telling his story like as a podcast, long-form podcast.
I've listened to it. It's great.
I've listened to it, too. It's really, really good.
Yeah, very well done. It's like an audio documentary.
Yeah, it just dropped this week, and one of Chris's buddies is actually helping out with it, too. So check
Cool.
that out. And also, I guess while we're at it, Victory the Podcast, if you live in Long Island, this Saturday, live show.
Ooh. And as for me, please... Oh, I'm going to be playing shows. I'm at Tantalum the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, the day before Thanksgiving, and at Bixby, Knowles in Long Beach at Wilmore Wine Bar the Saturday after Thanksgiving.
Wait, the Wednesday before Thanksgiving is tomorrow. We're doing the movie night.
No, it's not the Wednesday.
Oh, I
No,
thought
no.
you meant like the week before.
Here we go again.
Oh, might be.
See, it's too confusing.
Yeah, it might be.
All right, well, anyway, that'll do for Watercooler. Thanks again to everybody for listening and being a part of the show. We got a lot of cool stuff happening on the Patreon page, so make sure to go to patreon.com/watercooler and check all that out, and we'll see you later. We love you. Goodbye.